Welcome to Story by Joe. I'm Joe, and I'm joined here today with one of my lifelong friends, Lewis. Go ahead and give everybody a hi.
Hi, everyone.
It's the middle of the night, and today I just recently had seen The Running Man in movie theater, and I thought, I wanted to have a conversation with Lewis about this. And story is kind of my obsession right now, and I thought it would be interesting to kind of have this conversation for the benefit of others as well, and kind of let people experience it. So I'm in my bathrobe, I'm in my studio, having a cup of tea, and I figured I might as well kind of break down what the experience has been like. Lewis, are you familiar with the Running Man series, originally with Arnold Schwarzenegger from way back in the day?
I only know that they exist.
But you've not seen it?
No, I have not seen it.
Perfect, because if you already knew, this explanation would feel redundant. Um, Imagine, if you will, that there was a game show that you could join, and you could partake in that game show. And the whole purpose of the game show was stay alive. There's people that are going to try to kill you, and the whole goal is to just keep running, keep moving, make it through the maze, make it through the challenges. And at the end, you get a bunch of money and a prize and an island. You get to go somewhere. That was the original Arnold movie. He found out the whole thing was a scam. There really was no prize. And of course, he came back and decided, I'm going to stay alive and beat the system. They attempted to reboot and remake that in movie theaters, and train wreck. I don't know. I mean, it was a meh experience at best.
Okay.
Do you
Why?
remember? Great question. You remember the guy from? I want to say, no, it's not Zombieland. He's a very young actor that you would really recognize, and the name's escaping me right now. Anyway, they've got a young, trendy, dorky type of actor who's gonna fly back in my face. He was in 1,000 type of things. The main character, the main guy was like a standard actor, great, looking dude. But then he brings in this nerdy character that begins to teach him that the game show is all a lie and it's really about what the corporation wants to get out of you. And it's all a system,
Oh,
man. And the cops killed my dad because he was a former cop and he tried to get out and everything's a lie. And then this game has a theory. And he's talking about all these very like, he's got like Che Guevara in the background. He's got these very Marxist vibes to him. And then he's talking about how essentially you're a slave to the system. And mid speech, pulls out a monster, black can, green label,
shamelessly.
takes a sip, goes, "Oh, would you like a monster?" And then they cut to the next scene, and I'm like, you've killed the movie for me. I'm sitting here enjoying this like dystopian reality that could exist. Cameras everywhere, authoritarian police, people being beat up on the street by the cops. Sounds a lot like America right now. And then
Anyway,
you go on this beautiful rant about how to get out of the system, and mid rant you just pull out a monster, a current era monster can. You didn't even change the can. Like, oh, it was just such one of those moments where like I know they're trying to
hypocritical.
yeah, they're trying to fourth wall joke, but like, oh, come on, guys, like, way to suck me directly out of the movie and to remember that, oh yeah, this is a mega corporation that made this movie, and they're just feeding it to us kind of like slop. It just wasn't a it
So,
wasn't a great experience.
did this movie have any notes of comedy, or is it a thriller?
Yeah, the movie had plenty of notes of comedy. It was set to be kind of like in a dystopian future where no one can afford medicine and there's a class and equity divide. Like the super rich are
Okay,
fine, but the
but
working
well,
class are poor.
okay. I'm just trying to figure out if they were being self-conscious with that monster.
I don't think so necessarily. The humor didn't land well. Like the premise of the movie is based upon he needs to join this game because his daughter's sick and he can't afford real meds, and he can't work at jobs because he's been blacklisted. And it gives this very pro union, and they actually say that, like they say he's pro union. They give this very pro union arc about fair labor and living wage. For then a paid advertisement by Monster to be put in the movie to the main character, it didn't land. But to your point, was there comedy? Um, yes, some of the things that they call dystopian, like that they imagine the future of dystopian would be, are what we already have. They had reality TV shows mocking the Kardashians, and they were supposed to look
Okay,
like the Kardashians and sound like the Kardashians. And it's like, oh, in the future, everyone will watch this trash. Well, they already do. It's kind of meta commentary. There's game shows with fat people, and it's like, well, we already have Mr. Beast. Like, we've already seen a lot of this. now. So I guess the picture of a future they're trying to paint is also commentary about current society. It felt preachy, and I just wanted to see people die. Like, I just wanted to see interesting ways for people to die for 90 minutes in a movie theater so I didn't have to think about life or anything else.
Yeah.
That's
You
all
went
I
in
want.
for a movie and just got reality thrown at
Oh, I got a lecture on wage disparity and access to healthcare and whether or not union. I'm serious. Everything I'm about to say was the theme of the movie. Wage and income disparity and inequality, pro union stance, socialized medicine, um, authoritarian dystopian governments, a police state run by corporations, surveillance. Like, these were all themes in the movie. And while I appreciate all of those discussions and would love to have them with you, I just wanted to watch people get blown away. Thought it was
Yeah,
going to
you
be
were
like
just
the
in it
old
for the
movie.
entertainment.
Right. Right. And it just became a lecture, and the lecture kind of killed me. And it pulled me out of it. Have you had an experience like that where it's like you wanted to enjoy something lately, but it feels like the content has almost become, I don't know, it's almost like you're getting an ethics lesson, or you have to impart some message or philosophical take out of it? Like, has that happened to you at all recently?
I would say the most series that came out as of late do have some sort of element like that.
Right.
And sometimes they get away with it, and sometimes it's just very on the nose.
Yeah.
Sounds like you had one of those experiences.
Yeah. The whole movie he kept saying, "I'm just a guy trying to fight for my family." And by the end, him, the audience, and everyone was literally spreading pamphlets and propaganda about how the corporations and government are out to subject you to absolute authority and control. And I'm like, this is not. I just
Yeah,
wanted to watch a guy run through a maze and try not to die. Like, that's what the trailer was. The trailer was, "Oh, look, he's about to get shot." And the trailer did not tell me I would need to consider whether or not I was pro union before watching the movie. Like, I
right.
didn't know that was necessary prereq. Like,
Which I'll
oh
say,
man.
just even excluding all of the lectures and life lessons that they try to impart into you, just the plot of the movie doesn't sound like anything I would want to watch. It sounds like any other movie.
It was supposed to do what all modern movies do, and it's make me forget what year it is and pretend it's the past and be like, "Hey, remember that movie that
Uh,
Arnold did? Yeah, remember we want to watch that again?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do want to watch
yeah,
that. It's gonna be
yeah.
fun." And it wasn't.
I mean, that's
It
what they're
was.
doing in all the remakes.
Oh, it's killing me. You remember when live action Moana came out, where they were still selling the Blu-ray for the Moana animated movies and
And I
still
was gonna, I was
advertising?
gonna, I was gonna mention that just now.
I'm
The
sorry.
Moana came out like not too long ago.
It did. What are we doing? Oh, what do we do? They're still selling the animated toys. The kids still recognize the animated character. They didn't even give it time to breathe. Oh
Yeah, you can't
man.
play the nostalgia chord with that one.
They don't know what nostalgia is. They're still babies.
No.
Still small
Yeah,
little minds.
yeah.
Their whole life experience has been 9 years. 1 year is a ninth of their life. There's that's an epoch for them. It's like, oh, I remember when I was 8. This is truly nostalgic. No, it was yesterday.
Yeah. The kids that went to see the original Moana are still kids
They're
today.
still and then I'm going to the other kids. Back in my day, when you also had the same experience, she was animated, not real.
Right. Have you had a good experience with any uh, remake?
Uh, so this is you're really hitting on a nail here. I feel like
I feel like you're gonna go full on nerd on me.
I I am Jurassic World, Rebirth, the one that I had recently, was scarring. It was jarringly bad. It was so terrible that it just cemented in my mind the idea that, why don't we just start telling new stories, man? Why don't we just start
Yeah,
telling new stories? Like,
yeah.
I I don't need to connect with something in my past for it to be a good story. Like, I don't need to be brought in on the idea of, "Hey, do you remember Lord of the Rings? Do you remember Star Wars? Do you remember Jurassic
Mhm.
Park?" Like, yeah, I do. I have great feelings about them, and I bet the thing you're gonna try to sell me is subpar compared to those experiences. I don't know. I don't want to relive my childhood. I'd like to enjoy
Right.
adulthood in a new way. That would
Yeah, I
be
don't
kind
think.
of nice.
Yeah, I don't think that's controversial at all. I'm sure a lot of people share that same sentiment.
Now, for you, has there been a reboot that you've particularly enjoyed, or at least been excited by lately?
So, as a preface, when I go watch a remake, I usually have very low expectations. So, so anything that meets it or just uh, pass above it, it's fine with me. And I guess the last one that did that for me was the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, now that's actually a way to do the remakes. Not gonna lie, that's a way to do remakes because it felt original. I mean, you really actually could feel like you were in its own cinematic universe. Like
Yes.
they made it original. They put the effort in. The acting was superb. Like, yeah, good call on that one. Planet of the Apes was properly reimagined recently, and I got into
Oh
that
yeah.
series. I got into it.
I mean, it took so long for the next movie to come out, but I think they did good. I think it was okay.
They even ended up with a meme, didn't they? Didn't they have the little monkey meme for a while? "Oh, no," like that going around for a little while?
Oh no. Oh yeah. I mean, they had a bunch of them. What a wonderful day was another one.
Once it's hit meme quality, you know it's decent. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing about
Yeah.
that going,
Monkey
remember t"
Strong. Yep.
right, Monkey Star, like, and it wasn't like,
AK.
oh, that's so good. I loved yeah, the quality of that production was good, and it didn't feel like every scene was, "Remember Charleston Heston? Remember when he saw the Statue of Liberty? Remember when he
Right.
figured
Yeah.
it out?" You didn't get to remember this guy. Like, there was a sketch there was a sketch from the '80s with Chris Farley in Saturday Night Live where he
Yeah.
would be interviewing celebrities. He'd be like, "Hey," they'd be like a star of the movie, you know, be interviewing Tom Cruise. "Hey, you remember when you did that thing in that movie? That was really cool." There'd be no question. He would just say that to to the celebrity. I feel like that's every writing room in Hollywood right now. Like, "Hey, you remember when Darth Vader told Luke he was his father?
Yeah. Write it down.
Let's
Write it down. Yeah.
rebrand. Let's rebrand." People love Darth Vader. Oh, it's just yeah, no, it's rough. It is storytelling in modern era feels rough, and I don't know, like, everything seems so targeted. Like, there's not just fantasy books anymore. Well, now there's young adult fantasy, now there's romantic fantasy, now there's high fantasy. Like, why can't you just write a fantasy book? Why do you gotta label it and go through all this? And movies are the same thing. They target certain demographics, and they have to go for nostalgia, and they've all got, like, I don't know, man. Storytelling today doesn't feel like the creative original process. It all feels heavily, I don't wanna say corporatized because it's not like it's a bad thing. I'd love to make a ton of money off art. Who wouldn't, for heaven's sakes? It just feels, devoid of soul, if that makes sense.
It does, and I think, and I could be wrong. I think it's due to the fact that we have gotten away with archetypes. You need good archetypes to tell a story, and that's, I think, a clear example of that is the Wonder Woman movie.
Mm,
You can say whatever you want about the first one. I liked it. It was okay.
yeah.
The second one was garbage, and I
Yeah.
think it was because, and this is just an opinion. We're just talking. Um, the first one you could see how she struggled to become who she was meant to be. Okay, she's the archetypal hero. She's going through this journey to get to fulfill her destiny, if you want to say that.
Mhm.
And we're together in that journey with her, and you see that she's a flawed character. She has flaws and she has strengths, and she stumbles, but she gets up and she continues, and that's something that you can relate to. And so that's the movie, right? And Then the second one, if it's not the first scene, it's one of the very first scenes when she's very little and she's competing with adult women. Do you
Mm.
remember that?
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and then they pretty much got rid of everything that the first movie was meant to be. And they're portraying, hey, by the way, this character that you liked, that you used to relate to, she was always perfect. So what is the development if you are perfect? It
Yeah, I don't.
felt devoid of
Yeah,
meaning. I didn't like it.
I don't understand this new era of modern hero where they always make the right choice. They're always good. They don't
Mhm.
have inherent flaws. They've never had to struggle to gain anything. It's
Yeah,
such a I think it's why Deadpool was as popular as Deadpool was. I think people were tired of they were tired of perfect superhero. Like
yeah. Three or
it's
four
not a
movies.
great story. It's okay, the really powerful, really good guys with moral righteousness and all the correctness on their side defeat evil. Okay. Gosh, what an original concept I've never read in a comic book, a book, or a story, or a movie before. Gee,
I
oh
think that's
no.
why anti-hero series or movies are becoming popular. But they're I don't know. I feel like they're becoming a parody of themselves when they do it too much.
Yeah. Thunderbolts. I don't know if you've seen Thunderbolts or at least the trailers
I,
for it recently.
I did watch it.
What are your thoughts on Thunderbolts?
I liked it.
Did you find that it was a little like you kind of said, I think Thunderbolts is skirting the edge of parody on itself, like the anti-hero B team. Like it's a little. It was a good movie. It's probably one of the better Marvel movies they've done recently, but I feel like it could have tipped the scale a little bit. Like we're getting close to the edge of, okay, now the anti-heroes are really just the successful heroes with some extra personality spice.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't really care about the labels because, like you said, it's a parody of itself at this point, you know.
Right.
And heroes, anti-heroes, if they both mean the same thing, that then they mean nothing.
Right. Yeah.
So, I did like the characters. They were flawed. Uh, they were imperfect. Did any
Well,
of them have superpowers? You know, aside from Sentry, of course. Yeah.
aside from Century, no, it was more of just like the right people in the right time get together. It's just one of those kind of vibes. Like there wasn't a ton of like
Yeah.
I hate to say Black Widow, but it was kind of Black Widow It's like, oh, she was a super hardcore trained ninja lady. Okay, I mean, okay, but like
Woohoo.
they suddenly elevate her to superhero level, and it's like she's just standing out there like this. Everybody else had guns. Like the aliens all have guns and spaceships, and she's just going kada.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
get it.
I like how people with run towards her.
Yeah,
Like just
people
shoot from far.
and they take
Shoot at
one
it.
at a time. One at a time they attack. They get in a circle, and then one at a time. It's just
Yeah.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know if you could tell I'm not a fan of Marvel movies or comic book movies in general. I just it gets a little I don't know. Yes, the good guys are going to have struggles, and towards the end, there's going to be a plot twist, and then eventually the good guys make it. Okay, I show me a story where the good guys fail. I liked the beginning of the new Superman movie. I don't know if you saw the most recent Superman.
No, I have not seen it.
So it
I
starts
have
with
not.
him failing a battle. He gets his
Okay.
rear end handed to him, and the dog drags him into his magical ice palace that I'm sure Elsa made. And, he basically just licks his wounds and it's like, I just got my, rear end handed to me. I like that. Do more. Do more of that. Like, make the
Yeah.
struggle feel at least like he's not Superman. Like, he can't just open his eyes and emit the sun and kill everybody, which he can because he's Superman. So, like, it's interesting to me. It wasn't the best Superman movie. It wasn't the worst Superman movie, but it played at the angle of like, hey, this Superman feels things and this Superman can get hurt and this Superman struggles and he actually wants to be a good person, not because of any other reason than he should. Like, it did a good job at that. I just wish that more, like you said, if the superhero is perfect and they start out perfect, what am I watching this for, man? Like, what journey am I about to go on if the journey's already over and they're just winning all the time?
And I think that's why you like Superman, not because it's a different story, but just because the character is imperfect.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to feel things. He had to grow. I right now I like that. Right now
Yeah,
especially I
character
like that.
development.
Yeah, like and maybe this is a point I'm trying to pull out of my own self here having this like if we're not watching characters develop, what are we watching? It's not a documentary, and at this point like if I'm just watching great CGI battles and stuff like that, like I don't know. I can play video games. I got a computer. It's the same thing. Like, there's some video games that have done character development so
I
much.
was
You
going
get
to say,
all right. Let me
yeah,
give examples because I'm gonna just shut up now. You dive into this because this is an area you could probably top me on when it comes to knowledge of video games as
oh
a
no, probably
medium for
not,
story. In certain
probably
ways,
not. But
you probably could in certain
uh,
ways.
the ones that I played that I really enjoyed was um the Arkham games,
Mm,
Batman.
yep.
But I'm thinking uh if there's any development in that story. Batman does fail a lot of times, but I guess he plays the archetype of the savior.
He's the pain savior, I lost my parents, I lose people I love, no one can really get close to me, I can't be public with who I am. He's got that conflicted identity, but I'll sacrifice everything at the end of the day because that's what the people need. It's a very anti-Superman, but well-balanced trope, like it's such
Yeah.
a classic to kinda counter the effect of the Superman feel. Which is I was always a fan of Batman over Superman because it felt more plausible. He doesn't have any superpowers. He just
Oh
gotta
yeah,
figure it out. Mhm.
yeah. I like Batman 1,000 times more than Superman
Clark
because of
Kent
that.
can Clark Kent can produce the sun from his eye. No one can win. Nobody's gonna defeat you can shoot him all day long. He can produce the sun from his eyes. You game over. This just game over. Who are you gonna fight? It's
There
ridiculous.
was a comic of Superman where he holds the firmament, he holds the heavens. I mean, at that point, who are you fighting against?
At that point, you have a Greek deity present, and we're now getting into one of Zeus's offspring level of character power. That's just not. But even in Greek mythology, they're all sleeping with each other and making mistakes and having kids and getting messed up and involving with human. Even the Greeks knew if you're going to tell a believable story,
And what
some
stories they
human.
were?
Oh man, Greek mythology gets so nuts. But even that is just I don't know, so much more interesting than a lot of the modern stuff we're watching. Um,
Well,
there are
tell me. Sorry,
no,
I was
please,
going to
please.
shoot the same. I was going to shoot the same question at you. Have you played any games that have had any compelling stories?
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm cheating a little bit, but one of the best ones is the Witcher series, The Witcher 3.
Oh, The Witcher.
Oh my goodness. Every mission, every arc, every story is its own individual tale. That could be something I just want to dive in and investigate. The Witcher, above all other games, made me want to really like every quest line, every little story had an arc to it. And you learned that not everyone that seemed good is good and not everyone that seemed bad is bad. The choices
Okay.
that game made you made, like, should you save that child? Well, yes and no. There was one
Mm,
it's very much horror based. It's very much based in things of that nature. So there was one story where it's like, hey, this Baron lost his baby, and you can produce a spell to bring the baby back. And that's what the Baron's going to pay you to do. You're a magical salesman, basically. He wants to pay you to bring the baby back. You think that's noble, but in the process of bringing the baby back, if you choose to do so, there are consequences. And then those consequences may or may not offset the positivity of bringing that bear and his child back, if that child in turn ends up causing harm to others in the new form that it is produced. So it really, you kind of have to replay the game and make different decisions because what seems like a solid choice up front may end up being the bad call. And what seems like the painful call up front may end up saving the lives of others, even if no one's grateful for it. So The Witcher is really one of those series where
Mm.
the books are great. The books are fantastic. I didn't watch the TV show, so I don't have a ton of commentary on it. But the games, oh, the games are truly, it's like watching a story. It's really like watching an active story.
Do you know how
It's
many endings does it have?
Oh yeah, it's got multiple endings. I
Yeah,
th
what's multiple?
it's like 15 or more possible
Oh
different
wow.
endings. Well, because it depends on what relationships you ended with, what political
Okay.
ties you ended with, the outcome for certain so there's probably a large multitude of endings you can get, but there's the classic endings with the same cutscenes and stuff like that, and you get different ones
Okay.
depending upon, Triss or Yennefer or what whoever the girl. Are you into the chaotic redheads? You're into Triss. Are you into, you know, and it's like all the different little
Crazy
choices you get to
brunette.
make. Well, but Yennefer is from the original stories and more aligned to his past. So does he go with Yennefer? Does he go with Triss? There's all these
Is
questions
there
that one gets
is
to
there a
ask.
canon story?
Oh yeah, these are all out of books. The
Oh, okay.
Witcher came out
Okay.
of books, and they do follow stories. So he's got like a stepdaughter's the wrong term, but he's essentially got a stepdaughter Ciri he's trying to find and get back. And
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, it's like this journey to find and rescue
Mhm.
her from the bad guys type of deal. And on the way, he still has to be a Witcher and fight evil and stuff like that. And he himself is kind of evil, so like it's got anti-hero vibes to it. Beautiful storytelling. I believe it's Polish actually. I don't think it's I think the author originally was Polish and it was translated to English, but it caught on like wildfire. Very good books and really great stories. And you kind of bring up an interesting point asking about video games. I find myself often turning to TV and video games more than movies now for a good story. Books, of course, are the classic medium, but when it comes to visual, man, when was the last time you saw a movie and were like, man, I really want to learn more about that setting or that lore? Like I don't know that that happens much anymore.
I'll say as of late, I just have a brand new baby, so playing video games is not very
Congratulations.
much an option. Thank you. Last game I played was Hollow Knight, but I was gonna say my favorite form of media or entertainment is usually anime or manga, and
Mm.
I know that's something that you probably don't know very much of.
No, and it's something I'd like to learn more about. So when you say that's your favorite, it's specifically Japanese anime and manga. Those probably the ones
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
targeting. It What is it specifically that you like? Because I don't just want to typecast and say, "Oh, that's just people that are weebs or sycophants." Like, no, what I've heard and experienced is I've seen people on YouTube and friends be like, "You've never cried until you watched X anime or until you read X series." Like, what's that been like for you?
It's superior storytelling.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I've read and watched stories that would have you feeling all the feelings, will make you cry, make you feel angry. It's like you're there. You're part of the story.
Mm.
Sometimes there are twists to the story that you never expected. And I'll mention one. And this is not something that you're gonna like. The animation feels like it's a kids show for maybe, little kids, 5 to 10 years old. It's
Okay.
called Ranking of Kings.
Ranking of Kings.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but one of the things I liked is that you start watching it and you have no idea who is the good guy and who is the bad guy.
Mm.
Sometimes who you think is the bad guy, it's actually the good guy that does bad things, and sometimes that guy was bad, but he did certain actions that sort of redeemed them, or at least he's seeking redemption. And there are bad guys that you think, you know, that kind of makes sense. You're trying to justify them, and they're not just bad because they're bad. You know, they have a reason to be bad,
Right.
and sometimes the good guys have reason to be good and have reasons to make mistakes. And one of the characters is the stepmom of the protagonist. The protagonist is a young kid, son of the king.
Mm,
He is mute and he is very weak. He cannot hold a sword. He's
mm,
a kid. I'm sure we know his age and story, but he's like 6, 7, 8, and everyone makes fun of him in town. And he is only mute. He hears, so he listens to everyone's comments, but he never makes any face.
mm.
And he picks up a sword every day, trying to be like his strong dad. His dad is a giant. Like it, not it's not an exaggeration. His race is giant. He's a giant. He's a
Oh, okay.
towering figure, and his dad is so strong he could grab a rock, smash it together, and make a diamond. And we think that his dad is this loving figure that accepts him for who he is. And then we later found out that it's actually his dad's fault that he is the way that he is.
Oh
And
no.
his stepmom, because his mom died, and I won't tell you why or how. But the stepmom mistreats. His name is Boji,
Okay.
the prince. She has a son with the kings, and she spoils him, and he's a spoiled brat. But even him, he develops into this very interesting figure, this person that learns to be a prince and what that means to be responsible for someone else.
Mm,
Yeah, and we later find out that the stepmom is actually looking over uh Boji, the mute prince, whenever he's asleep. She goes over to his bed and caresses his head and heals his wounds because she has this very mild healing power.
mm,
But she is very much she's very shy and she doesn't like to show affection like that. So she
mm,
becomes a very likable character very quickly. When you hated her from the very beginning and the king has royal guards, you like some of them, then you hate some of them. You think they're best friends, but then they try to kill each other for various reasons. It's just such a wonderful story.
I love the passion that emitted from you almost right away, and it's a shame
Uh,
that we could be like, "Oh, are there any movies you like? No. Are there any games you like? Not really. How about anime? Alright, I gotta tell you about this one." It's just like,
yeah, yeah.
I don't think Western media is bad. I think a lot of Westerns are creative, evidenced by the fact that anyone with a phone can show up on YouTube or Substack and start creating content that millions and millions of people will watch. So there is still creativity in the West, but when it comes to chronological planned out storytelling, man, the East, the Japanese, the Koreans, man, it's hard to hold a candle up next to that. Some of their content that they make is just it's some other level. Absolutely some other level.
I do agree with you. The West, I don't think it's dead. I think if they have a problem, it's probably just Hollywood. There is a lot of creative people I've seen. I mean, you could just jump on YouTube and see a lot of very cool content.
Mhm.
But that's Japanese storytelling. I think it's superior.
And that kind of brings to the point of what I'm trying to do with this channel. So my goal is on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving in the United States, I am going to air my first episode of the story I've been working on. It's going to be live on Substack. I'm going to officially start telling the story very much live like this. I'm going to look at the camera and just go. Um, the point of that is I want to not do this on YouTube because I'm worried that YouTube and the content creator space is pushing for a rapid, vapid churn content, just get on a cycle, publish as much as you can for the sake of numbers and awareness and things. I'd rather have two people that want to hear a story and watch and listen and just kind of let it grow over time, but have the space and the freedom to do it long form and do it in a format that I enjoy and kind of really work with it. I wonder if the fast going desire for clicks, desire for metrics is pushing content creators to make the simpler I mean, we were having a discussion about this, like shorts now have to have captions. There
Oh
has
yeah,
to be these attention grabbing just things to go with it, and I don't know that that's something that I want. Some of these animes, like the Studio Ghibli stuff, you have no clue what's going on. They just take their time giving you setting, giving you lore, giving you background, setting up music. Like, I like that. I
yeah, they're
like that
wonderful
style.
stories too.
Yeah, so
Not just the setting, but the story of it.
they do such a good. It humbles me. It humbles me at how good that content is, and I'd like to create something more like that. I'd like it to be slower. I'd like it to be something that you're enjoying the subtlety of it. It's not a shot
Yeah,
glass. It's hot tea. You're gonna sip it slowly over time. You're not just gonna give it one go and be done with it. You're gonna enjoy it over a while. You try to take this down to one, you're gonna burn yourself. So you have to pace or it's a problem. That's kind of the goal of what I'm gonna be trying to do with this project.
yeah, that sounds really compelling.
Let me ask you this before I let you go, because I know you've got kids and I know you've got stuff going on. This was just a
Yeah,
random last minute thing, so I do apologize. Um, I noticed you were happy about anime. I noticed that you had one call out there. If there's something you could reference for me, if there was an anime or something that I haven't seen that you thought would be good, and for others as well, that I could enjoy, listen to, start chewing on to, and come back to you and be like, hey, I watched a few episodes of season one, or hey, I picked up this book. Do you have a reference that I can kind of take away and be and in my free time start to enjoy and kind of give you feedback on? Or just for anyone listening or watching later?
I could probably give you like 10 recommendations from the top of my head.
Can you do 3?
Do what? I mean, sure, but do I want to do that? I feel like I want to browse through everything that I know and see what's better for you to give you a better answer. Oh, well, let me just give you three.
Okay. Let me get a
Uh,
notepad.
okay.
Uh, Creating engaging content. All right, go ahead. I got a little paper.
Since we were already talking about it, you could add that one. Ranking of Kings.
Ranking of Kings.
Yeah, don't dismiss the animation right away.
I It's so much about storytelling for me. I don't care if it was drawn on, construction paper and Crayola. As if the story's engaging, I'm gonna watch. Like that's kind of my vibe. So
Yeah, I
Ranking of
mean,
Kings.
yeah, it looks very much like Harold and then Purple Crayon.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, uh, uh, one that's become a classic, and you probably heard of it because it's been mainstream. Attack on Titans,
Oh yeah.
but the
Attack on
storytelling, it's very few other anime
What
have
else you got for me?
storytelling of that level. And what's the last one? I feel I should give you something classic,
Don't say
something
One
not too
Punch.
complicated. No, no, that's a parody anime. Um, I don't want to prescribe anything shonen, meaning just action. It's just action, nothing else.
Right.
Like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't get into that because it's just constant fighting scene. Like there's nothing.
Something different, classic would probably be Death Note.
Death Note. Oh, there's a lot of memes in internet culture about Death Note, isn't there?
Oh yeah, yeah, very impactful to pop culture.
Rank of Kings, Attack of Titan, and Death Note. Your three recommendations for those of us
Yeah,
that are going to
rank.
be having some time.
Yeah, Attack on Titan, a lot of action, great storytelling. There are some episodes that they're just talk. They just develop the story.
Mm,
People call it slow. I enjoy those very much. Ranking of Kings is probably one that I would just put on TV and sit down and with a hot drink and enjoy. Death Note is more of a, suspense, thrilling, the thrill. It's
gotcha.
it's a little bit darker and it's more real,
Mm,
but
interesting.
it's
I
a
like
good
the
story.
commentary. I like that commentary with it. It's almost like pairing notes. Like Rank of Kings, that's definitely hot beverage on the couch. Death Note, that's a little more
Mm.
anxious by yourself in the dark room, seeing how it goes. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I'll say.
and then Attack of Titan. Where do we place that for the vibe?
For the vibe, oh man, it has so much vibe. There's even some funny moments in it. It has a lot of suspense.
I like that.
It's dystopian.
Problem is, I can't consume too much of it because midway through my storytelling, you'll notice a drastic shift. Be like, "What's this new influence?" And I'm like, "Oh, don't ask. Don't don't worry about it.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
start picking up influences from other places." Listen, I this is a random impromptu. Again, for those watching currently and or later, I'm dropping my first episode on Wednesday. I don't know what time yet. It'll probably happen at some point. I figure it'll be great for people that are starting the holiday to have something to listen to and kind of look forward to. So um, I'm looking to share that with you, Lewis. Thank you for jumping on this random last minute thing. I wanted to share with you and figured we'll share
Fine
with
stuff.
everybody. No, this has been a great experience. I don't know if you've enjoyed it, but I had a lot of fun.
I did enjoy it. I was scared. I almost called it off, but yeah,
It just feels
I
like us
enjoyed it. It was
talking.
good. Yeah, it feels like any other conversation we have had.
Right. I'm in a bathrobe sipping tea, complaining about something I just watched recently, being kind of snobby. Yeah, it's every conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Only thing we
So
didn't
tell
talk
me
about
what's
was
bothering you today. Yeah.
let me
No, but
complain about some.
yeah, exactly. But
Let
I
me tell
enjoyed it. It
you.
was good.
Let me tell you about a project I haven't launched yet, about something I'm excited to do soon. But in the meantime, complain about these other 10 stories that are
Yeah,
not
exactly.
related to mine.
Yeah. Any other
That got,
Tuesday night.
that got personal fast. All right, man.
Okay.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching. Lewis, thanks for showing up. It was a pleasure. And I'll talk to
My
you
pleasure.
soon.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.